Hey, Mark and Alex, thank you for joining me. We're here on straight from the set of God of War 3.
Yeah. Epic in our new office, yeah.
So, first of all, take yourself back 2 years. So, if you're at the similar stage with the original LittleBigPlanet, is your philosophy still the same now with the sequel?
I don't think the philosophy's changed. I think back then we hadn't actually seen what the community could do. Everyone sort of was banking that the levels that would be made would be great, but we didn't know it. And this time round, we've seen what people could do and just been astounded. And we were originally a little afraid to do like really deep features, really amazing, powerful, create features, because we thought, well, maybe people won't get run with this. But now we know that they do. We've really gone to town, haven't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think, like Alex says, after seeing what the community's done with the first game, it sort of opened the gates for us to really explore that in LittleBigPlanet 2 and really expand it into a fully fledged.
And the physicality remains. So the nice thing is that playfulness, yeah. So LittleBigPlanet still sort of disarms you a little bit. It's still enjoyable. You don't have to be a creator to enjoy LittleBigPlanet, and that remains. But what's great is all these new tools and all of the creative, fancy electronic stuff that will enable more creators to make a variety of games that you just wouldn't have got with LittleBigPlanet 1. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how that same philosophy of like players, creators, and sharers, that whole phrase, that stayed exactly the same. We really want to cater to the players as well as the creators and the sharers.
And the visuals, I think I spoke to you at the BAFTAs, how you said that your visual style was very much influenced by sort of Cosgrove Hall, that sort of style.
And lots of the old children's programs that I remember, that used sort of household bits and bobs, really. Yeah, I mean, we've created tons of new art assets and palettes for LittleBigPlanet 2, but they're all sort of still grounded in that homemade, sort of craft materials.
I think I'm sort of getting now from the bit that you showed upstairs, it's a certain kind of Doctor Who, Lost in Space, 70s sci-fi influence. Is that true?
Yeah, they have a little bit more of a story to them. Actually, we've got voice acting now that you can use, and then we're using it as well. So yeah, we've got a little bit more Doctor Who, but it's still very charming, sort of disarming thing. But
it's like Doctor Who when it was made in the 60s or 70s or something. It's like proper low budget style. You can see that that's made out of a cardboard box. There's actually 6 whole new themes in there, and they range from kind of steampunk to cake to fluffy stuff to
Victoriano and all sort of.
Which tool do you think is the most revolutionary?
For me, it's definitely actually, I was going to say the direct control, but actually
that's my favourite.
The cameras. Well, you can take that one, because I love the fact that people are now making sort of cinematic stuff with it, like really with the cutscene camera, and the fact you can do acting and record sackbots and do sort of characters. I really hope there's going to be some amazing narrative stuff, because in games there's been all this debate like, oh yeah, should you do long cutscenes? Should they be interactive? How should you tell stories in games? And like, well, we don't know the answer, but we can give it to a few million people and see what they come up with.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how revolutionary it is or not, but it's certainly my favourite. And it's the direct control device, which is basically, that allows the creators to remap the 6-axis controller however they like, so they genuinely can invent their own games with their own control mechanisms.
Yeah.
That maybe sounds a bit boring to explain, but I think after a couple of months of the community having their hands on that, you're going to see some really original
well, I mean,
games,
it sounds really abstract, but then, we were showing just now, one of the designers here in his spare time built a complete sort of Command and Conquer type RTS game, with multiple units you select, and it's like, hang on, this is LittleBigPlanet. And because he could use direct control to just set up everything however he wanted, in combination with a lot of other things, but
it's so flexible, and the testers that we have sort of using it all the time, one of those guys managed to actually make his own fake create mode, if that makes sense. So you're playing a level, and with the direct control device, and he rebuilt his own Poppet interface at the press of a button, and then there you could select objects that you can place. It's mad. It's just mind-boggling.
I mean, I was going to go through sort of different genres of games and sort of get you to say yes or no, whether you think you could do it.
Most of them will be yes. I mean, in the end, it's still LittleBigPlanet, and it's still not. We call it like 2.5D. Yeah, try it.
Give us some.
What about an underwater dating sim?
Yes.
That's definitely 100%.
So? Yeah, that's easy.
Basketball, real-time strategy.
I'm not sure that'd be a good game, but I think we've got basketball and we've got real-time strategy. Yeah, so we've got done the pieces. We've just got to join them together.
What about an FPS? Because that's the one everybody asks for.
Yeah.
So, like, my instant reaction would be, well, no, we haven't really gone down a 3D route.
But that's a gauntlet.
As you saw in the with the demos up there, you saw that a guy had managed to create something that looks like a fully 3D thing. But it's just an illusion. It's actually I mean, the thing that I'm looking forward to most of all, and I'm
optimistic.
Very optimistic, but also very confident that this will happen eventually, is that in the community, someone will make a genuinely original game. But the moving slightly more into the optimistic side maybe is I'm really hoping that someone will actually create a whole new genre, because that is possible.
Well, so maybe it is.
That will be the.
What was it? Basketball RTS.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the new genre.
That's going to be me. See,
we need to have a
category
actually in the when you choose categories. We should have one that's like genre defying or something.
Yeah, one for Mark. Yeah.
Finally, like, is there a lot more to see than what you've shown so far? Or?
It will come down to showing you what we've made with those basic tools, because ultimately it ends up boiling down to being, you know, a collection of
Lego bricks,
I suppose, modular things. But what you can do with those is unlimited, really. So, yeah, I mean, there'll be examples that we've obviously created in the story that we ship with the game. But I think the real exciting phase is going to be when the community's had it for a few months, because we're just going to see. Like last time, we were just amazed with what they did with that stuff. So.
Yeah, I mean, the quality was just way above what I could ever have hoped for, and I think that the thing is that we often talk in the press and in the run-up to the game, we hype up the individual pieces, which can kind of lose some people, because they're like, oh, that sounds complicated. But just remember in the end that you get to benefit from these lunatic people that are up there right now, experimenting with it and shipping God knows what sort of games.